Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Goose is Loose podcast. The goose has been loosed. The goose has been loosened on this spooky edition of Gundam Card Game. So by the time this thing uploads, it'll be Halloween. So happy Halloween to everybody around the world. Obviously, we haven't done one of these in a while because there's nothing much to talk about. But now with the official release of Dual Impact, and it's been like a week. It'll be a week by the time this thing uploads, so there's gonna be some data, people figuring things out, of course. Obviously, early meta. I would think that more people are inclined to play purple because purple got a lot of better support, and of course, the decks that are good already will most likely stay good. I don't think there's any actual like big meta contenders that will like shake up the meta, but we got two big kind of biggish tournaments to react to, which of course, if you like to see this content, you want to see more Gundam related content, please leave a like, comment, sub, all the fun stuff. I truly appreciate every single thing. Definitely helps out the channel. And again, shout out to Eggman for compiling all this data for the rest of us. Wouldn't be possible without him. So we'll look at the first one for Eggman's event. I briefly mentioned a couple of these in just like various videos, but we'll take a look at it anyways. Not surprisingly, number one is Barbados Ping. Shout out to Brandon Land. So here's an example deck list. As you can see, I would say that you obviously play for Barbados first form because being able to draw from the attack if the thing is damaged is amazing. Because you can just obviously link it with Mikazuki or maybe ping it somehow through other various means, and you have something that consistently draws is very good. That's absolutely very obvious, especially the early game where you start drawing stuff. That's amazing. And then it goes well in conjunction with Amuro, of course, because Amuro's the best blue pilot in the game at the moment. And then you fill out the rest with just kind of like our Federation units, which is what I guess. Also, you're going to see some Nahil Argama rise in popularity because it's another way for you to rest things, especially if it's like 3 or less HP instead of like level 3 or whatever. So a lot of blockers now are going to be like level 3 or 3 HP because of the release of, if we could see the actual card, the Rick Diaz. Rick Diaz is now a much more popular blocker card because the stats are pretty, I think, even overall. 33 means you can effectively trade with like a Rizal, for example. Or another thing you could do is that you can effectively like still do damage to a like a Zoroark kind of whatever, you know what I mean? Like you can do good decent damage to like a bunch of things and also have like another blocker. It's basically another blocker with okay stats, because then you can just get rid of Rizal, unlike Lefrith, which will die to Rizal, but then the Rizal will still have one. So that's what they do. Other than that, that's like some kind of Epion build. But first we're gonna take a look at the first place one. So we can see here again, just putting Federation stuff with purple. I think it's fairly straightforward, right? So shout out to them. Congratulations to Brandon Labs. We'll look at Wing Zero too. Shout out to Jimmy Dow. I think that's very obvious. Like it's just the same that kind of deck. You just play blockers. I know they have another ramp card, I believe, but I mean, you gotta just keep your same game plan, right? Keep it simple. I think some people are starting to play Shenlong because obviously they have a lot more blockers. Shenlong is really underrated because they can do breach. Breach is a really underrated effect overall, so I think that's why we got that in. And then just go from there. Just block, do the drop, and then you have a hopefully a Freedom Gundam to finish out, close out things, and then there you go. Fairly straightforward. I don't think there's anything super crazy to say about that. But you can see in this tournament, the first one from Eggman, 64 players. You see some popularity with Barbados Ping and Wing Zero. You don't even see any unicorn blockers anymore. It's basically gone. Because is it partially because it's not popular? Let's take a look. Will Mendigas. Anything crazy? Adding a little bit of Academy in there, I suppose. A little spice here. Playing 11 pilots with your cheat out the unicorn. Basically make the way go. Like, would you rather play unicorn or would you rather play Epion? Is the question, right? I think that's also something you can think about. Because Epion, obviously, you can draw one. Destroy mode, you can rest stuff. So, you know, something to think about. It's like different, just going sideways. I don't think Either one is bad or either one is like terrible. And then finally some Cubile ping. Red purple, red white, red blue. I've seen red white online through like Mobile Suit Arena. Personally, I find red white to be okay because then you can start drawing stuff. Obviously, you can play blockers, so you can hold on to your Cubile and start popping things. But that's an option too. The other one, of course, is pinging with purple because Mikazuki is an auto ping. I remember Cubile is that it can deal 1 damage enemy unit and deal 2 damage to it. So that's like kind of different from your typical Kshatriya, which is like just 1 ping for anything with Marita's effect. So there you go. Requires it to be during Parrot Neo Xeon pilot attack. So thankfully it's not a link, so that's good. But then obviously since it's not link, you don't get the Marita extra ping. So there you go, pros and cons. Personally, I like playing red blue Marita with and pingers with breach overall, because sometimes I feel one of the big struggles you have at the end is that you don't put enough damage on enemies and shields. And so being able to draw a 4, I think when people maybe figure out the ratios or something like that, I think that'll be okay as well. But for now, we're seeing tops red white, red purple, because you just ping automatically, and that's good. Shout out to them. We'll look at the other latest Eagle's Nest, which unsurprisingly again, how many players? We got 23, so I think that's like a locals kind of level. We got Dr. Mueller. Shout out to them. Pretty standard. I think the difference now is heavy arms, kind of like a dupe, where you can look at the top of the card. Otherwise, I think it's pretty much standard, right? Aside from Vic Diaz, you just replace Vic Diaz from the Zorwart, because Zorwart can attack directly. At least this one can attack like the opponent or whatever. There you go. Shout out to them. And the other one I want to look at too, just like some Xeon aggro, like how are they doing? Is it the same deck list basically? Yep, same deck list. Shout out to Crazer. We'll take a look at Michael too. Pretty much the same thing except Breach. And finally we'll look at Cubile ping to Cody Angelov. I recognize the name from Yu-Gi-Oh, so shout out to them. So they're playing Haman Karn's Gazasi. I feel mixed about this card, to be honest, because like it's level 3 or lower. Obviously it's going to be okay during early game, but Haman Khan doesn't even get like, I guess like able to link it until like turn 5. So yeah, it becomes a 4-1 by turn 5 hypothetically, and then you could trade with other level 4 kind of things, because usually around that time is like you have like 5 health, so I guess you could almost trade with it. Not really, right? But I don't know. I don't feel mixed about Haman Khan's Gazasi, because it being 2-3 stats, not exactly amazing, super amazing, because at that point, let's say you can play like a Rizal, and then also being able, remember you needed to pair this thing with something, so you have to wait like another turn. Like, do you want to waste a Marita with a random Pingu in the city? I suppose you could do it with like your Amuro or something, and then you can rest, and then you have a 4-4 thing, so you can start pinging and then go from there. But I don't know, it's kind of something to think about. Maybe figure out if it's actually worth it. I get why you would play it, because it's technically not a ping, but I feel at that point you would play something like your, I can find the card, it's deploying to like your Girazulu, right? That just does 1 ping regardless. And I think at that point, like, stats don't really matter too much, but I don't know. I feel like it would be kind of a waste to just get like a Haman Khan and just ping it with that, because it's level 3. Obviously, Haman is that it has to be choose 1 enemy unit level or equal to or lower. You obviously want to save the Haman for your Cubile, but obviously something worked out for them. Being able to ping at a lower level probably is good, because then it's a nice mix between your gun tank and your Anksha. But I don't know, you have to pair it with something, and I feel like the amount of pilots you play, do you really want to pair something with just like your typical Galaxy? I don't know. It's just my opinion, right? I'm just my opinion. It probably is good, but that's the meta right now. Just quickly overview. Things obviously will change over time as more people get cards. Like, I still haven't gotten like a lot of my cards to play for locals, unless like you go full tryhard and went to like a bunch of different events. But at the moment, it's kind of like hard for me personally to get. Just waiting for cards to come. So speaking of cards to come, we'll look now at the dual impact set overall. So right now, highest price card. Again, not financial advice. No financial advice. Like I always say, it's not financial advice. Just me just making observations on purchasing your cardboard with your hard-earned cash or whatever form of currency you have. Maybe you trade cows for cardboard. So first form, Barbados LR Plus, of course, $500. Sure, why not? We get it. Collector's item, I suppose. You pull that, I guess you slab it and you try to sell it to some other poor person who holds on to it and hopes to retain value, unless this card game goes complete basura and just crashes. Which, you know, you never know. It's hard to get product. It's hard to get product, but at the same time, from my experience, and as you can see from just meta results, if you can't get cardboard, don't freak out. We're not seeing purple Pingu become like the new meta. Obviously, it will become meta, but it feels like right now like a tier 2 kind of deal. I still think Wing Zero is the best deck overall because of the drop. A lot of things can survive the drop, and then all the other options are just kind of figuring out. So aside from all art cards, which they obviously will retain value over time, and because that it is what you want to pay for like a premium. I remember seeing 4s for like $40 on like near early release day, but then I think they got bought out and now they're hovering around 67. This also, I remember, happened to Merida. Merida was from the original set. The all art was around pretty low. I remember it being like 45, 50, and now it's kind of hovering at that same price now. I remember at one point that Merida got bought out to like $70, $90 at one point, but now obviously since everyone wants new stuff, nobody wants this old stuff. That's boring. It's significantly kind of lower priced. Oh, this person has 3. Oh boy, I might buy 2 of them right now. Just kidding. But you can see here, I have to sign in. Whatever. But you get what I'm saying. It's like at one point you can see from the chart. Look, it's like $60 ish. At one point it got bought out. Boom, going down lower. So, personally, this is what I personally, for collection, of course. Now again, not saying financial advice, but I will try to get Maritas in R+, because Marita, she's a great card. It's gonna just get value over time, especially since she has a cyber new type and being able to ping during Link. Remember, we found out that Cycle Gundam, the MA mode, is also a cyber new type for a Link, so Marita works. There you go. It's great. She's gonna be better over time. It also helps that the art is like really cool and badass, in my opinion. Like, I get what they're trying to do with like the 4 art with spoilers, like, you know, Zeta Gundam kind of deals when she's like looking at Camille and thinking about her life and stuff. But I don't know, it's something off about the art for me. I think maybe because her outfit is like you can't really see her arm. I know it's supposed to be some kind of like snug, like sweater kind of deal, but it's just very like weird looking compared to like Marida's like badass. You see Kachachi in the background. You kind of see like Hong Kong in the background for this, right? I don't know. It's a matter of preference. Like, I kind of prefer her normal art overall. But obviously, this is a shiny version, $70, more or less. I fully expect everything to go down over time. And then the most expensive, just normal card overall, is just your Gundam Barbados first form, because like the big chase card, because you obviously need 4 of that. And if you want to play purple, it's just mandatory to play 4 of it. Is this price gonna dip? I can see that. Remember at one point, like I always say, new type rising. At one point, the Wing Zeros were around $30. Now it's like $10. No one cares. This will probably happen as well. I can foresee it, because remember right now it's like 20 listings. When people get more cards, it'll probably go down. Is there going to be a reprint of this? I always hear from sources and internet rumors saying like, oh, GD02 is not gonna get reprinted, but this was coming from a guy who was like trying to sell cards to you. So I'm like, okay, sure. Everything will be reprinted at one point, I presume. Also, not everybody. Like right now, prices are high because people are either buying it because they want it. Like the hardcore people like me, basically, right? Buying it because they can't put the cards from booster backs and stuff like that. More supply comes in, those people will be gone, and then now it's like the rest of us who want to get things on the cheaper. So aside from all art stuff, that's really the only big expensive card you could technically pull, I suppose. Gundam Barbados first form. And then I think the rest of it's pretty like cheap. I managed to pull a Zeta Gundam spoiler from my box and a Yakushiki. I think they're solid. I mean, it's the pair from Zeta Gundam, right? And I sold this for around 35. And I'm like, sure, why not? Sell, sell, sell. I know some people want to play it with Ayuk and some kind of Titans build and stuff like that, but I think as someone who has played other card games, like I like familiarity. It's very difficult to get people to play new things unless it's obviously absolutely broken. That comes into Yu-Gi-Oh, of course, especially. But I mean, if they try to get Ayuk into like a thing, I suppose this will increase in price, but it's not popular because not many people want to play it, right? I guess you'll see little Timmy and Billy around here saying like, I gotta get all my Gundam Age cards. You know what I mean? Gundam Barbados, because Iron Blood Orphan's fairly popular. The starter deck just came out or whatever. That makes sense for this card to be expensive, but the rest of it, whatever. Even GQs, because I think that deck is even harder to get than the Barbados one, because at least the Barbados one had like an event, but that one's even harder to get, and I think that's also partially because of the popularity here. Like $7, right? I'm sure this is like a 4 of. No, I'm just kidding. It's like a little 7-3. I'm sure it's maybe like a 2 or 3 copies, I would presume. And also like Clan is kind of his own archetype where it's very difficult for you to not play Clan aside from just playing Clan. So you're forced to play like red and green, and that's probably partially why the price is right for that. Anything else that stands out to me? I don't think anything else. Like if you want anything that's not Gundam Barbados or an alt art, then right now is the appropriate time to get them. Psycho Gundam 13. I mean, I paid 14, 15. Hopefully they come sooner than later. I have one. I still need one more copy somewhere in the mail. But overall, I mean, nothing too crazy, right? Nothing too local. Hamon Cons, I think earlier this week got a little spike. It was like $5 at one point. Yeah. Like, do you need to play Hamon Con? Would you rather play that and Merida, or you play Amuro and Merida? Stick to the basics, right? Same with 4. 4 got a little spike, $5. Still about $5, right? If you count taxes and shipping. So pilots are basically $5, $5. Sure, why not? I think Argama base, same thing. It's just a rare, so I got a little high right here. Now it's down to like $3. Overall, I mean, nothing really much to say about the market overall. Everything's pretty much, again, if you want something that's not all art or then the Barbados, I wouldn't feel bad. Again, not financial advice. It's just me talking out of my informed decisions. Same with Hamon Khan. This is really weird art, in my opinion. Very strange. It's like almost like a young version of her from like the flashbacks they did in Zeta Gundam and stuff like that. And I guess the manga. Because Hamon Khan, even though she looks really mature, I think she's like 16 in the lore. So be careful. If I remember correctly, it's been a while. But this looks kind of same thing. Like I'm not a big fan of a lot of these alt arts, to be honest. Like most of the alt arts for the pilot cards, I'm kind of whatever. I understand this is a reference for Gundam Age, but I don't really care for Gundam Age. And then obviously the mecha art is pretty cool. Like this one, Second Gundam, having a little like SS Gridman kind of look. That looks pretty okay, I suppose. You don't see the Mark II, unlike the other art. It's like a Studio Trigger kind of ish art, right? I appreciate that. Maybe the same people who did G-Cux is the same kind of art style here. Sure, that's fine, but you won't want to pay $64 versus like a $13, $14, $15 card. That's like 3-4 times the value. I personally like this art as well. Like obviously I wouldn't mind an alt art if I pull it, sure. But I think normal art is okay. You can see the Gundam Mark II here too. But overall, I mean, meta's pretty much the same. Cards are pretty much the same. If you're trying to scalp Gundam, again, not financial advice, but if you're trying to scalp Gundam GD02 set, You must be really dumb, or you don't understand how the market will work for a card game, and that's why you're gonna lose so much money, especially for people who have no. I guess you win money if you have people with no impulse control, but if you're trying to just hoard it and try to open stuff, like, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Like, I just did one booster box for fun, cause why not? But to expect mega pulls, don't bet on it. Do not bet on it. Anyways, that's all we really have for this short, spoopy edition of Goose is Loose. I don't think there's really much other news to talk about for now for Gundam, huh? Just hopefully you manage to get your pulls, get good pulls, and then we can go from there. Maybe we'll look at Star Decks. How much are Star Decks now? The latest one, Clan Unity, that's going around $33. Sure. 46 JK. 46 bucks. Sure, why not? $46 for a clan. And then let's see, Iron Blood Orphans. That's probably the more expensive one, I would presume, because people want that. That's about 53. Just a brick. Just a brick. Nice. Brick only. Brick house. Build a house. I guess 100 for an unopened one, huh? That's crazy. That's crazy, gang. Crazy. Just buy the singles. Just buy the singles here. Wow, Barbados 4 form. Maybe I should get this card graded. Dang. I got it graded. Maybe I should do that. No, I'm just kidding. I play cards. There's no reason to grade things because it's a scam. But anyways, that's enough rambling for me. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, sub, all that fun stuff. See y'all around. Bye bye.